Long Island medium Theresa Caputo has been on TV for years.
I'm Theresa, the hotline to heaven.
But that doesn't mean there aren't still plenty of skeptics. At this point, we've seen enough. When it comes to communing with the great beyond, is she or isn't she the real deal? Caputo claims that she receives messages from spirit. That's her name for whatever force she claims to be channeling. On her website, she explains, "Spirit mostly speaks to me through a sixth sense, a kind of feeling and knowing. When I get information, it feels like very strong intuition or recall. Spirit also uses a vocabulary of signs and symbols that they show me during a reading." She claims to have decoded those symbols over time, cobbling together her readings between those signs and the feelings she gets from the beyond.
You have the pictures with you?
Yes! According to Caputo, she's always gotten messages from somewhere out there. She told the Daily Mail, "I didn't realize I was different. I've been seeing and sensing spirit since I was 4, so for me, it was normal to see someone standing at the foot of my bed at night or talking to me and there was no one else in the room."
I've been seeing spirits since I'm 4. They will make me feel what they felt as their soul left the physical body.
Sensing spirits is one thing, but controlling them was a different story. Caputo explained to 068 magazine, "I could barely leave my house because of my anxiety. I would walk into a building and just feel everything in there. I'd be walking through a store and feel like someone was choking me, and I didn't understand what it was." A spiritual healer helped her redirect her gift. On an episode of Long Island Medium, she admitted, "I went for 5 years back and forth from the spiritual classes and going for the healings because it took me a long time to accept what it was. But the terrorist attacks on September 11th, 2001 changed everything." As Caputo tells it, that's when she had a new kind of spiritual experience, saying, "I was told that this was my soul's journey, that I had the gift to be able to give peace to people and be able to move on after the loss of a loved one." Caputo believes that national tragedies make people more open to spirituality, and she responded to the call, recalling, "In that moment, I put my gift in God's hands and said, if this is my soul's purpose, you open every door for me and I will walk through with my gift."
Can't forget my holy water.
Caputo is a practicing Catholic, but the Catholic Church doesn't acknowledge the existence of spirit. This means she's had to find her own place in a religion that basically denies her life's work. Caputo joked to Sarasota magazine, "Even if the church doesn't agree with what I do, it takes my money every week."
I found a way to be able to still honor my faith and know that I have a beautiful and amazing gift from God.
Caputo pointed out that people pick and choose which parts of their religions they actually follow. Personally, she isn't convinced about the Christian concept of heaven and hell.
Spirits never said to me, "Theresa, it's hot down here," so I'm going with that there is no hell. I don't know.
Caputo doesn't believe every soul is living free and easy in the afterlife, though, explaining, "I've had a soul where I felt their energy but couldn't hear it because it was locked up. Instead of choosing to believe that person was in a literal hell," Caputo reasoned, "that means their spirit needed to grow." Like many TV-based mediums before her, Caputo does live stage shows in which she reads messages from spirit from members of the audience. The way she described it, "I let spirit guide me around the audience and I will literally just stop and start channeling someone's loved one."
Who also connected from the head over here? Well, who passed from the brain, either aneurysm, brain tumor, Alzheimer's, or dementia?
Caputo thinks her live shows can be beneficial to everyone who buys a ticket, not just the small percentage of attendees who get messages from spirit, explaining, "To watch someone heal in front of you in real time also helps other people heal. It still amazes me to watch someone receive the messages." In 2012, an Inside Edition investigation found that Caputo's so-called gift may not be all it's cracked up to be.
You can investigate this all you want. I don't know what you're gonna find.
Former psychic Mark Edward revealed on that program that Caputo uses several common tricks in her live shows.
Who was buried in a red dress?
She'll throw out a random number to the crowd, for example, but the law of large numbers means that someone in the crowd invariably feels connected to that number.
Do you still have her chair?
No.
Or did she have an issue with her legs prior to her passing?
No.
She also makes claims of ghostly piggybacking, insisting that if someone can't interpret a clue she's given them, spirit must have meant it for someone else.
I might be piggybacking. Somebody might have the same meaning.
Edward doesn't hesitate to express his feelings about this.
It's bullcrap.
Edward also hinted to Skeptical Inquirer that Caputo's a prolific Googler. After all, she gets credit card numbers and names of attendees when she sells tickets. Thanks to social media, useful information is only a web search away, Edward explained. Our own egocentric fascination with ourselves makes it easy for the techie smart agent or producer to make seeming miracles happen.
Okay. Your father's showing me like a big pot of sauce. Okay, he wants you to know he's at peace and he has the sauce.
In one episode of Long Island Medium, Caputo asked a woman why Spirit was telling her something about baby clothes. The woman replied, "Oh, that's weird. I just put up a bunch of pictures of baby clothes on my Facebook page." There are plenty of skeptics out there, but when the list asked for her response, Caputo replied, "I'm not asking anyone to believe in me, and I don't mean to be rude when I say I don't care what they say about me." She thinks skeptics should just trust themselves, advising, "The things that they sense and feel, hear, sense, or smell, that is their departed loved ones. That soul bond can never and will never be broken." Speaking to People, Caputo emphasized that it's the effect of her readings that matters more than whether or not she's truly been able to pass along messages from the dead, sharing, "What I do is so much more than me speaking to dead people. Do you know how many times people have come to a reading and it restored their faith? Families are reunited after a reading." Even if you don't believe in Caputo's ability to speak to spirit, you probably want to know the truth about her iconic hairstyle.
They don't have hair like this in Florida, that's all I'm saying.
Her blonde do is teased to reach the gods, sprayed into a helmet-like bouffant that puts all others to shame. Sometimes it's even long at the bottom, draping down over her shoulders in a look more reminiscent of a televangelist than a run-of-the-mill Karen.
It was really boofy. Big and like cotton wool. Boofy.
Caputo claims she was born with a love of high hair, just like her so-called gift. She told the list, "It's just me. I've always had long nails and big hair." Magician Criss Angel talks to celebrity guests on Criss Angel Magic with the Stars, but Caputo will never be one of them. Back in 2013, when he was promoting Criss Angel Believe, Angel was a frequent critic of the Long Island Medium. In an interview with Newsday, he explained that his show revolved around the fact that a little skepticism is healthy, warning, "I say believe, but be cautious and don't take the lie." Angel specifically called out Caputo's work as something to be skeptical of, more than skeptical. Angel said, "The Long Island Medium is just another charlatan. Anytime she wants, we'll put her through a series of tests and I'll offer $1 million challenge to her." On the same day that article dropped, Angel took to X to up the ante, tweeting, "Theresa Caputo, take my $2 million challenge or stop exploiting the vulnerable. If you're legit, you're $2 million richer." 12 years later, Angel's still waiting for Caputo's reply. According to some critics, if you've only ever seen Caputo perform her readings on her TV shows, you're only getting half the story. In 2014, Radar Online reported that Caputo was the subject of a fraud investigation, though there isn't much publicly available information about how that turned out. The outlet reported on the negative comments left by numerous attendees of her tour, many of whom were very disappointed by what they'd witnessed. In the words of one attendee, "I was a Theresa Caputo believer and watched every one of her shows. My young daughter died this summer and I needed to believe in something. After tonight, I am no longer a believer." Radar Online also spoke with a woman named Pamela, who received an awkward reading from Caputo when she appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres show. The woman's son was murdered when he was a toddler, but Caputo talked like he was older when he died. The resulting confusion wasn't made clear to the show's viewers, who likely interpreted it as yet another correct message from Spirit, but Pamela took offense, saying, "I do not think she was capturing his spirit at all. The reading wasn't anything close to what my son would have wanted me to hear. It did not offer closure at all." While many people who are disappointed in their experience with Caputo go on to leave bad reviews online and speak about her failures to the media, every once in a while someone actually confronts her during the reading itself. During a 2018 live show in New Jersey, one woman was actually ejected for expressing her displeasure to Caputo's face. NJ.com reported that Caputo was trying to find someone in the audience who could relate to a murder case in which someone had messed with the evidence. In response, a woman stood up and waved her arms in an attempt to get Caputo's attention, yelling, "It's up here, right here." But Caputo wasn't interested. She said Spirit was clear about who the message was meant for, and the woman was unfortunately out of luck. This didn't go over well. Apparently, the woman flipped Caputo off, and Caputo got furious, shouting, "She just gave me the finger. Get the f*** out. Get her the f*** out." Security swarmed in and kicked the woman out of the event, after which a mollified Caputo told her more dutiful audience, "See, God don't like ugly." Unlike many other shows about so-called mediums, Long Island Medium also followed Caputo's personal life. Fans got to know her husband Larry, a tattooed dude who supported his wife as best he could, even if he didn't necessarily understand how best to help her when she was overcome by spirit. Apparently, Larry's help didn't measure up. They presented a united front on the show, but Theresa and Larry divorced in 2018. She announced the news on Facebook, thanking fans who had expressed their concern for her marriage with a post reading, "We will continue to love and support each other like we always have. Thank thank you for the amazing love and support for me and my family. A less effusive Larry spoke to TMZ about the separation, telling them, I'm doing fine. I know she's doing well. I'm happy. Caputo's time in the spotlight has been met with a significant amount of controversy, with lots of attention paid to whether she's using simple mentalist tricks on her unsuspecting audience or whether she's actually relaying messages from ghosts. You might expect that all of the pushback has affected Caputo's career, and maybe it has, but she still managed to rack up an impressive net worth.
Did you do the tree, ma'am, in memory?
No, I didn't.
Even though there's significant evidence that her show edits around failed readings and that she might be looking up her clients online ahead of time, that hasn't stopped loyal followers from signing up for their own readings in droves. On her website, Caputo writes, if you're interested in a reading, please know that I was booked for 2 years before the show first aired, and in addition to that, I had a very extended list. Fair enough, but then Caputo goes on to warn fans that getting on her waiting list doesn't guarantee a reading. She verbally throws up her hands, writing, it's just impossible to schedule so far out. Thank you for all your patience and understanding.